faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane. It's Zeeverfett.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan again for another Let's Draw, and today I will be drawing the Man of Steel. Before I get into it, and I'm sort of plotting him out now, just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in and checking it out. And I do have a lot of drawing streams available on the channel. Check them out. Let me know what you think. Anyway, so sort of blocking him out real quick. This is for the Project Justice League Part 2 that we'll be releasing sometime this coming summer. And this is just for a dynamic shot that we were trying to go for. So very cool. The idea behind this one is that he is shooting his heat vision, his laser eyes, if you will, at a subject, and so I just wanted to sort of show a powerful shot, but also a shot where he's just sort of he's in midair floating, yet he is he's doing something. It's all of the concentration or power is emitted through his face. So I just wanted to show his arms kind of at his sides, or just sort of out in front a little bit, and his legs sort of kicked back a little bit behind him, just to sort of give him a powerful, like, all my power is coming from my head, basically. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just sort of drawing in a little bit of details as I go. I never really have a set. I have a pretty good thought or idea of what I want to do with the legs here, but as you can see, I'm testing a couple things out. This setup is just, it's not working for me. I know that I want one of the legs sort of kicked under the abdomen, and then the other one I guess behind, but it really wasn't coming together. I had to pause. I tried a couple different things out. I tried both legs behind, just sort of like, just sort of hanging, dangling down. Wasn't really working out for me, because I was like, well, if you're in mid-flight, what are you going to be doing? Where are your legs going to be anyway? They're just sort of, they don't do anything in flight. They're not useful appendages. So I thought, well, maybe they're just hanging down, maybe they're just right there. Because as you can tell, I have the torso, and the sort of and the chest sort of leaned in forward, and so yeah. Well, I mean, what do you do with the legs? What do you do with the legs? So as you can tell, it just, that doesn't look quite right. I don't continue too long before I decide, hey, yeah, no, this isn't working. So again, I wanted one of the thighs to be tucked underneath his body, so I figured maybe this leg will work, and so we're gonna go and try that again. And again, that's the cool thing about just sort of trying these things out, is that hey, I mean, it's trial and error. You keep going until something looks right, and that's kind of what I did here. I figured this is getting closer to what I want to achieve. It's the dynamic pose is still there. It still shows strength on top, and then below it's sort of tucked in a little bit, so that the attention is going to be drawn more toward the top of the body, that and my intention is for the head. So But yeah, so that's pretty much the pose, and then of course, you know, no, I do need to make an adjustment on the arm a little bit. It was, you know, a little too symmetrical, I guess. So I did bring in the right arm. Here I am, sort of drawing a quick idea of where the hands would be. You know, of course, they're going to be clenched. It is a lot easier, especially in comic book art or whatnot, to be drawing fists instead of the hands doing something. But in this pose here, I was like, what else would you be doing if you were shooting your heat vision? You would be clenching your fists. So, you know, there's that, and that's pretty dope. So I'm just adding some of the detail to his costume now. Typically I wouldn't do that until a little bit later, but you know, hey, whatever. But yeah, so here's, I'm just drawing the some of the suit detail, and yeah. So one of my favorite characters to draw would be Superman. I'm a huge Superman fan. I've always been. So yeah, this is it's definitely fun for me to always draw him in different configuration setup poses, and just kind of, you know, again, see how he gets used in the project. So very cool. Let's see. I am working out the fist. And there, and again, in this stage, I normally wouldn't go too detailed with the fist, but I figured, hey, what the heck? I'm already drawing, so might as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to go back over it, and that's the cool thing about digital art, is you can go back over on top of these images, refine your art as you go. And typically, what I do when I'm about to do that is change the color for the underneath layer. So I typically pick a blue because it's very easy on the eyes, and sometimes I'll lower the opacity, and then I'll go back over with a new layer and just start drawing the black, and we're gonna work out the face. I have a couple of markers of where I want the eyes to be in relation to the face. So there's eyeball number 1. And then I'm gonna find where the eyebrows go, and the nose and the ears. And these are pretty good guides. In this shot here, I wanted him to be sort of angry, yelling, but not too angry, and not yelling too much, because that would be just such an exaggerated shot. As far as, like, you know, his mouth is being completely open, and like just really yelling, and just a lot of emphasis on that. And I was like, you know what, with the effects going on from the eyes, you're not really going to get a lot. So that mouth is too huge. I was like, you're not really going to get a lot of detail in the face anyway, because, you know, the effects that are going to be placed on top of this are going to be the focal point, and a little I would assume overwhelming, just because they're heat vision effects. So I was like, you know, the gesture really doesn't matter as much, but I'm gonna do, of course, I'm gonna do a little bit to make it interesting, just in case there's a little shot before the heat vision happens. I'm not sure if it's, you know, I don't know how it's going to be used, so I'm, you know, just going to be doing my best here to accommodate the animator, the visual effects artist. And again, thanks guys for checking this out. Here we go. Not liking those eyes. We're gonna redo that. And if you have not hit the like button yet, please just drop me a like. Leave me a comment below. That's always appreciated. Really cool. Thanks, guys. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Noses can be tricky. Yes, they are basically, I want to say, triangular or pyramid shape. But they can be a little tricky just because, you know, of the orientation of the nose. In this sort of 3/4 tilted down, not really too much tilted down, but tilted down head. That's typically one of the easier noses to draw, but it can become a challenge. I'm probably gonna move that in a minute. The hair, just placeholder hair. Figured, you know, hey, it's gonna be, he's flying. His hair is gonna be flapping, you know, because of the wind. So there you go. It's gonna be a little bit disheveled, if you will. So there you go. Hair's looking pretty decent. Gotta fix that jawline. There we go. Yeah, wherever you place the mouth, you always have to be mindful of where you're going to place the chin. Because, you know, if you're going to have the mouth open, then of course the jaw needs to be relaxed a little bit. And I'm probably going to have to move that up a little bit because there's just not, even though the head is tilted down, it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like he has enough chin there. And I will realize that in just a second. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied with how this is turning out. But yeah, there I go. I'm just gonna raise that up a little bit. Yeah, that looks about right. There we go. Nice. So yeah, if you guys are wondering, I am drawing on a Wacom tablet. It is it's a desktop tablet, so it just kind of sits on the desk because it's so heavy. Yeah, that's I dig the product. It's done me right so far. I've had a great time using it. I can't really use those pads where you're just sort of looking at the screen but drawing on something else. I like to see where my pen is going, so that's always key, and it's pretty nice. So yeah, there we go. I'm liking that. That looks nice. Yeah, moved the eye a little bit over just to it looks better here, the placement. And that's another good thing about digital art is that, you know, like when I move the arm, when I move the mouth, when I move the eye, you can do that and it doesn't destroy the you know, I don't have to erase, and that's what I used to do a long time ago, is always having to erase, and then you'd have always residue or whatever from the eraser get on the paper, or the pencil. You know, you can still see the previous lines. That's the great thing with digital art is you do not have that. Yeah, so I was just messing with a couple layers, and that's another good thing that you can do is if you're experimenting, you can always work on multiple layers just to see, hey, you know, I'm gonna test these things out, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, you can because you drew it in layers, you can erase or delete the layer that you were working on, and it doesn't mess up the integrity of the overall image, so you don't have to start from scratch. But yeah, so that's looking pretty good for me. Again, I mean, I've pretty much committed on that, and I'm gonna go ahead and start quote unquote inking this. So here we go. Typically, I start with the face. Face is the most important of your poses, of your artwork, because that's where the intention is always going to be drawn. Your eyes typically will fixate on the eyes of whatever drawing, picture, photograph, whatever that you're looking at. So I have seen it where, you know, people do start on different aspects of the drawing and then just sort of lead up to, you know, the face or whatever. But typically I start with the face because that's key, and then I work my way out. And I have no rhyme or reason. Like as you can see, I started on an eyebrow, worked on an eye, then I worked on another eyebrow, went down to the nose, to the mouth, and that one eye is still not drawn in. I'm working on the chin, the cheekbone, and now I'm working on that other eye. So there's no system here. It's just me going where the pen leads me. Just working on some subtle details for the face, just to sort of give that, give it some depth, but not too much. I don't typically put a lot of line work on the face. There you go, just kind of working out the hair again. Again, for me, that's why I don't really spend too much time on the hair. I don't typically like to spend a lot of time on the hair because it's just not something that I am particularly comfortable with. But typically with hair, you want to sort of draw out big shapes, and then fill in detail later. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just throw some lines here and there, and hope for the best. Hopefully, you know, it all sort of comes together in the end. And usually for hair, typically with my female drawings, the other artist, our colorist, Mariano, he likes to erase the hair that I put in and add his own, because my hair is not the greatest. But he does stay true to sort of my intention of where the hair what the hair should be doing, or what's going on with the hair in the first place. So here we go, working down this arm. And yeah, so far so good. Yep. There we go. Just adding a little bit of detail, not too much. And typically with my with the gauntlets, just because of those lines, I like nice fluid lines on there. And I'll turn my canvas a little bit in just a second here. Just because of the detail. There we go. There we go. And because, again, the tablet is so big, I have to rotate the image instead of rotating my tablet. And yeah, that looks pretty good. I'll erase the excess. All right, there we go. Moving on to the next arm. Again, since I still have it rotated, this is my focal point. There we go. Gotta make sure that fist looks good. Good and proper. Just a little bit of detail there, not too much. Look how easy that bicep was to draw. I mean, the more times you draw these, the more times you draw anything, the easier it is to replicate as you continue on. Work up the little pectorals in just a second. Work out the Superman symbol. That's always fun. Yeah, I drew a thick torso. I know one of my artist buddies always has a problem with thick torsos, but this one's pretty good. There's a little bit of foreshortening on his body, as you can tell. You know, his arms are larger than his legs, and everything is, you know, sort of proportional to how far away the body is from the camera. But yeah, so you know, legs are coming together pretty nicely. I do need to fix that foot. Looks a little stubby to me. There we go. So yeah, there was a bit of a time jump there because I forgot to record. But yes, no, all I did was, of course, trace over that other leg. Didn't put a lot of detail on it, but I was, you know, hey, whatever. And here we go. I just realized my pen was was purple. Anyway, so here we go. We're gonna do the Superman S, which is always fun on these drawings. Nope. Nope. Yes. Okay, here we go. Bam. There it is. There it is. So I did draw it a little bit, you know, further down, kind of elongated a little bit. That seems about right. Right above the abs, where you can place it. And I do try to make this, you know, a one and done kind of thing. I put a little marker there, so I can see where I needed that line, and there we go. And that looks pretty good. It's pretty good. I typically like to make a nice fluid motion with these things, just to have a nice, clean, crisp line. And I'll go through and I'll adjust things as needed. But yeah, there we go. That little swoosh there. It's not needed, but it's always fun. And this part on the symbol is sometimes tricky. And that's it. There she is. Looks good to me. Got to draw in some of the suit detail on the side of the abs. Got to be a little bit of detail on the leg. Very nicely done. I'm doing a little bit of rendering here, not a lot. You know, that'll change after it goes through the coloring process. And typically with these, because they're being animated, I'll erase these in just a second. I typically do the cape in another layer, so that just makes it easier on the colorist and easier on the animator to position or do whatever they want with the cape. So I wanted the cape to look like it was just sort of flapping in the back behind him. You know, of course, I didn't just want it draped down, you know, not really doing much. Just I wanted to show that, you know, hey, mate, it's kicked up a little bit, and that to me, it makes it a little bit more interesting. Yeah, so I'm just sort of adding some detail to the hair, just to kind of better show the colors what I want it to do or look like or whatnot. And I do need to make sure that it looks fine on its own layer. So that's key. And yeah, just doing some refining here and there, but pretty much I'm done, and I'm pretty satisfied with the way it turned out. And here she is. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you saw, check out our other videos and subscribe for more. Be sure to leave your comments and suggestions down below. Don't forget to check out our TeePublic and Teespring store. And a thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Your support is much appreciated. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. This is Zeeverfett, signing off.